Welcome to Beyond the Scores here on Teledal TV. As always, I'm your host, Taf Wada, and it's a pleasure to have you join us. It's been a few weeks, but we have a great show for you today, so you don't want to miss it. Starting locally with local news and then going abroad with all the international Gambian stars. We'll travel through African news and we'll give you things coming around in Europe and all the way in America. You won't want to miss this right after the break. Let's kickstart things locally, where the league clubs have continued to train in their respective training grounds despite the delay of the new Gambian league season. Earlier this week, the Division 1 and 2 league competition, which was supposed to start this week, was officially postponed due to unavailable grounds. With Nawatan season continuing right now and the production of the Banjul Stadium, the lack of stadiums is now affecting the league season. This has come one of the problems the GFF have had to deal with for the last few months, trying to deal with financial and stadium availability. Now the new teams are starting their training with no set date in sight. Clubs are training such as Gambia Ports Authority, Medina United, and obviously league champions Real de Banjul, looking to stake their claim in the new league season. The season was supposed to be really exciting, and though I'm sure fans will be disappointed, the GFF has said that they are looking to have a conclusion to this problem relatively soon. Elsewhere, Real de Banjul are also in the news. Their duo Mustafa Nyasi and Sheikh Jau have just signed for FC Copenhagen in the Danish league. The Danish Giants, who play in the Champions League and are routinely champions of the Danish league, signed the duo to a 5-year contract starting in January. The duo, who are both 18 and 17, will start in the U19 team, which is part of a training program that the club is instilling to bring international players to develop in their youth program before transferring to the first team. The duo, who have been very impressive in the last 3 years, helping Real de Banjul win 3 consecutive titles, will be excited to showcase their talents in the U19 division and then hopefully to the first team. Describing their playing style, the Sheikh Jau is described as a very fast winger who's very direct and takes players on. Mustafa Nyasi, on the other hand, is a strong one-on-one defender who will look to use his strength and solid passing game to impress his Danish coaches. In other news in Europe, Adama Sidibe continues his great form to start the season. The St. Johnson striker scored a hat-trick over the weekend to get 7 goals in the 6 games he's played this year. The Gambian striker, who also has been called in and out of the national team, is looking to help his team get promotion back to the Scottish Premier League, as they currently play in the Scottish Championship. In England, Yankuba Minteh, the star, continues his good form as well. He had an assist in Brighton's 3-0 win over Leeds, continuing his good form, which has attracted interest from giants such as Liverpool and other top teams in Europe. The Gambian duo starting well in England and across Europe is a good sign for Gambian football, as they try to make a run in the next set of African Cup of Nations qualifiers in the new year. On the women's side, the women's Scorpions bowed down to Kenya last week. But the big question is, where do they go next from here? Asan Jata wrote an article which I thought highlighted some of the big problems that the women's Scorpions face right now. Lack of infrastructure, not used to playing together, and not even knowing what team players are going to come when they're called up. The whole situation is a mess, and it needs to be highlighted. What can we do to help the girls? What structures can we bring to maybe give them more support, help them with the league, and maybe even give them experience by going to other leagues? As I've mentioned on this show, women's sports are growing globally, and this is a chance for us to support our girls to go and be able to make a name for themselves across the world. In Africa, Hakimi and Shabak are the only Africans to make the FIFA Pro 11 voted on by just the players. The two Africans from Morocco join a list of other world-class players on both the men's and women's side and represent Africa as shining lights from the last season. Hakimi, who plays for PSG, had quite the season at right back, winning the treble with PSG and contributing with goals and assists throughout the season. Shebak, who plays locally in Morocco, also had a standout international campaign, which stamped her as one of the best players in the world, clearly voted on by her peers. We'll be right back with some more news across the board. Don't go anywhere. It's a big 2 days in Europe. The Champions League is back and there's good games all throughout. Right now, Arsenal are leading 1-0 in their game against Slavia Prague, but the big game of the day is Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to be going back to Anfield for the first time since leaving in the summer. This makes the game even more enticing, despite it being two of the giants of Europe. How will Trent deal with the pressure of the crowd? How will Liverpool react? Will they attack the midfielder, knowing maybe some of his weaknesses? It tells to be a very exciting game. With Kylian Mbappe in the form of his life and Liverpool trying to get back on track after 4 straight defeats to start the season, it should be a big clash at Anfield tonight. Elsewhere, PSG and Bayern also lock horns as two giants of Europe. Bayern might be the best team to start in Europe, starting undefeated to start the season this year. PSG, of course, are the reigning champions and defeated Barcelona in the first game and are looking to continue their strong start to the season. The two sides would like to see where they are at the start of the season and gauge themselves against another elite European team. Across the Atlantic in the NBA, things are starting to heat up. Last year's champions, Oklahoma City Thunder, have started a perfect 7-0 to keep their lead ahead in the Western Conference. But it's not that easy, because up right behind them, the Spurs, the Lakers, Nuggets, and Rockets have also had really fast starts to the season. In other news in the West, Memphis star Ja Morant is having trouble with the club, and sources have now said that he might be open to a trade to another team. A star like Ja being this disgruntled this early in the season is unprecedented in the NBA, but it has also brought the attention of a lot of teams who would be interested in the star point guard. We'll make sure to always keep you up to date with everything going on in the NBA, of course. Now I want to talk about an exciting section of Beyond the Scores that we are introducing to you. For the last week and a half, I've had the pleasure to go into and investigate a Gambian sporting icon. He also happens to be my father, and though some of the stories I've heard are stories I heard as a child, this experience has helped me learn a lot about Gambian history, which is what I want to do this segment about. Giving you, the people, icons and stories that maybe you might not have heard about. Every place I've been, history is a big part of people's culture. You have to revere your history and celebrate them. And with this segment, we're allowing us to every week profile a Gambian athlete doing great things or has done great things before. And I hope you enjoyed this segment we have of Bai Male Wada, a 5-athlete representative of Gambia.
I'm going to put a multifaceted sports facility here because I live next to it. This is my community. I want to create opportunity for my community. And like I said, I would have made it the best sporting facility in Gambia without public funds, without government involvement or the public. I was going around the world trying to make money, trying to raise money. Like I said, I sold my property to start the project. And it was all for the community. It was all for Gambia, not by Mali. I am comfortable. I've had opportunities. Gambia gave me a lot of opportunity. So I owe Gambia. Gambia doesn't owe me. That's how I feel. And that's how I live. And I try to encourage, I try to support any Gambian I come in contact with, whether I know you or I don't know you, whether you are related or not related. The moment you are a Gambian, I feel I owe you that. And that's how I live my life, and without regret. I'm all Gambia. That everything I do, I want Gambia to be better. I want Gambians to be better. So that's who Baimale is. And I have lived it. I'm not just talking. All my life, I have tried to help. And I have tried to help people just because they are Gambians. Not because they are related to me or I know them. No. The moment I know you're a Gambian, I would try to help. Indiscriminate. I don't look at where you're from. I don't look at your religion. I don't look at your tribe. I don't look at your status. No. For me, it's all about Gambia, because I feel if I help a Gambian be better, Gambia would be better. And that's how I look at it. I want Gambia to be better. Anywhere I meet Gambians, global, I chat with. I try to help them. Here, I try to help. I have kids that I mentor. I do programs. We had the Voice of the Youth. We had university students that I was mentoring. I was training. I'm taking them to camps. All right? I am doing a lot of things with them. I am exposing them to volunteerism, to a lot of things about life. And it is all about improving Gambia. And I am not apologetical about that. And I will continue. If they see me as a rebel, I'll continue to rebel, as long as it has an impact, a positive impact on my community, my country. I will continue to do it.
That segment comes in the full profile documentary of Baimale Wada, His Life and Legacy, which comes out later this week. What I got from that was a passionate and patriotic man looking to give back to his country. We'll be back with you for more Beyond the Scores on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in.